Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the former world champion Zerg in the blue, the Italian stallion. It's Reynor, facing off against arguably the best Protoss in the world. Not the Protoss we deserve, but the one we need right now in the red. It's a herO in a best-of-7 Protoss versus Zerg finals with two of the top players in the game and a true clash of speed versus style. And speaking of speed and style, it'd be incredible before we get started if you could smash that like button. Maybe even subscribe. Help me cut the algorithm. And Jimmy, what are we at? Jimmy. 1,737 likes on this video, on this cast. And I'll cast another one. And I'll probably do it anyways, because I don't know what else I'd do with my life. But thank you for watching. Hopefully, you've had a good day so far. And hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better. Before we start to ponder what exactly herO was doing. His unique architectural decisions have always been quite a original experience, but it appears he's just given up on walling off against the Zerg entirely. Okay, he just built all his buildings in the main, which is a perfectly fine thing to do, and now he's going to wall off the low ground. And this always begs the question for me of whether he just forgot he was playing against Zerg, or if there's really a method to the madness. And I'm not convinced of either, and I'm not convinced it's not both. And while you ponder that, oh yeah, sure, a robo. Let's throw that down there. In the most scoutable location on the map, which is actually surprisingly hard to see on a regular... He's not going to send more Zerglings across the map. That robo being at the front may be one of the best hidden early tech plays that he could actually do. Because past the first Zergling or two, you want to min-max your economy. If you're Reynor, at least. Who knows what herO wants to do. But you want to get as many drones as possible, and the Zerglings are just for defense. I say that, but it looks like Reynor is going for a counterattack of sorts. He's building up enough Zerglings to easily crush the Adepts and maybe take out a third. But herO is not going for a third. He's going for a robotics facility. The Zergling has yet to scout it. As who has a robo at this timing? I honestly, he's just building a warp prism. Okay, another one of herO's charcuterie board of not quite cheeses, but I'm not quite sure what this is anyways. The Zerglings will take out the stasis. The Queen will politely yet firmly ask the Oracle to leave. And still the robo goes unscouted. herO trying to sell the idea is going for a third nexus. The Zergling, it's not on patrol. He's manually controlling it, which is... you know, herO in a Reynor in a nutshell. But unfortunately, the exact moment the Zergling was looking the wrong way is the moment that there's a random warp prism coming across the map. And now, this feels like one of those builds that herO's asking himself whether or not he could rather than whether or not he should. But there's no Roach Warren done. There's only a handful of Zerglings back at home. And the Shady Bunch is here. The Adepts will cancel the Shade. And there's already a Templar archives on the way. So herO has swerved from the Stargate to the Robo back to the Twilight. And we've come full circle and the tech shrubbery has been completed. And Reynor is going to spot the Archons merging. He went from Oracle into Archon drop in about the minimum possible time. The Adepts, I am so surprised he canceled there, but I think he wants the threat of the Adepts. One Zergling going to gnaw on the Nexus. Must be a little shocking to deal with. Oh. He actually lit up the... that's rude. Lit up the Oracle just to deal with one of them. The Zerglings surround and rip apart the Adepts for the most part. But the Queens, Archons with overwhelming power against biological units. The Queen's trying to deny the retreat with the Archon drop. And so far quite successful. And Overlord going to be obliterated by the Archons again. And where does that leave us? Dazed and confused. So, herO is down 10 workers. He's gonna knock out a couple extra Overlords, which is helpful. But the Roaches are out, and despite the meandering path of herO's tech, I don't think he's landed somewhere that puts him ahead. He's gonna kill 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's it. Protoss. But that 69 to 47 workers is quite a nice economic lead, but the Archons are acting like they own the place, and who's gonna stop him? The Warp Prism is flying in. It has... no, come on. Is he really gonna get away with this? No, that queen is... Oh, my. He can't keep getting away with it. The Archon... That's a second Templar. herO, you already have a Templar Archives. But he's going to build a decoy Templar Archives to make sure that he gets Storm in time, because this one was already used for the Archons. So, this is one of those scenarios with pro players that when their build is too crazy, they just forget what it was. Despite the fact that herO is actively microing Archons, which came from High Templar right now. He's building a second Templar Archives, because that's the normal timing you'd build it. Like after your Twilight tech kicks in. So, the double Templar, sure. Let's go. Now, which one does he build Storm on? No, and that was not an accidental Dark Shrine. Like, he didn't mean to go Dark Shrine and misclicked it. I mean, there's a chance. But this is 100%. The first one was for Archons, and the second one was for Storm. And the brain cells did not rub together quickly enough to make that connection. But, you know, when herO does it, it seems... his Forrest Gumpian School of Protoss, of which he is the Major Domo, the Spirit Guide, the Professor, His Majesty, herO the First, or Second, or maybe multiple. I'm not actually sure. But here we go again. So Reynor has Roach Hydra. He's pulled it all together. He's been slapping down most of these attempts, but not so strongly that herO has felt rebuffed. In fact, emboldened. Even though Reynor would rather he be italicized. And now, the Hydras come up. There goes the Prism. The Archons, on their own, will stoically march backwards. And despite all his efforts, it looks like he's going to lose at least one. So he just loses the Warp Prism in the middle of the map, alongside an Archon, because he's looking the other way. But now, you know what? We're going to tack on some more tech. The Fleet Beacon is in production. So... And I think this is just for a Mothership. He's not building a second Stargate. He's not getting +1 air weapons. It's just a Mothership rush of sorts, I think. Well, not really a rush. It's only been 9 minutes. I feel like I've aged 9 years already. Well, the charge lots up to the north side. And another battle group to the south. Kind of an older style of split Protoss here to take advantage of the fact that Reynor really wants his army to be all together. He's going to try to split it apart in the drones. Wow, he's just target firing the hatchery. The Storms to zone out. Pre-calls. The Templar are going to take the brunt of it, but Baneling's crashing in, but most of the army's able to recall out. herO will mostly get away with it. And a Mothership has begun. Recently buffed to have the cool outline animation instead of just the fancy light here. Yes, a visual buff. It's listed in the patch notes. Another Storm on the high ground. herO has absolutely no fear. He might have that thing where he's just not capable of it. Like, part of your brain just doesn't... But right now, Reynor has an army that could overrun him easily. But... because herO is playing so aggressively, Reynor doesn't feel confident that he could actually do so. There's a Greater Spire already on the way. He's angling for the Broodlords. He may actually have realized that herO's more focused on the ground army, but just some emotional support fields thrown out. Meanwhile, the other army over to the right side. herO is certainly not playing like someone who's down 30 supply right now. Of course, he doesn't know the exact numbers. He knows he has Immortals, Archons, and a Dream here. And he makes everyone else's nightmares. Throws out the force field. Sorry, Storm. Freudian slip. And that hatchery goes up, goes down again. Can't explain that. Meanwhile, the Immortals will eventually get surrounded and killed. And herO has lost 6 Immortals, 3 Archons, 8 High Templar. He's lost about an equal amount to the Zerg, which is not usually a great sign for said Zerg. But the Mothership has arrived. And active cloaking. There are some Overseers with the army, but this is going to give Reynor at least a few seconds to contemplate whether he wants to go forward, and it appears he's going to end up going back. And the charge lots are swinging in again. +2's already done. For both sides, technically, though more relevant for the charge lots here. Hydras and Lings, and now Reynor still just trying to get his 4th base again, whereas herO is taking his 5th Nexus. 2 Immortals, an Archon, and a Tempest. Meanwhile, Adrenal Gland's on the way for Reynor, but he's quickly losing his only advantage in this game, which was the economic lead. And now that herO has the tech and the economy, any of the supposed weaknesses that technically he should have had, but apparently practically did not, have evaporated, just like most of the charge lots, trading surprisingly well with Banelings. Even if you kill them with Banes, that's minerals for gas, and that's not a ratio necessarily you want to take. The Hydras. The Hydras are hunting for the Mothership. Ah, yes. The Mothership, surprisingly subtle for her size. But, and honestly, with +1 attack, might be able to... Now, okay. Time Warp, I don't think the Mothership's that good. But it's good enough. The high ground. Storms on top of the Zealots. They'll expect some of us in the wreckage, brothers. And indeed, you know what has more HP than Zerg units? Almost every Protoss unit. So storming your own units, it's really just who survives to the end. But the Templar gonna be surrounded. The Zerglings and the Hydras easily ripping apart the Immortals. And the Tempests are left behind before they can really do much damage. He's gonna stutter step over as much of the dead zone as possible, splitting the damage not to overkill too hard. And the Hydra's doing their best cosplay as an anti-air unit, but they're really not convincing anyone, I don't think. Meanwhile, they'll get one! On the other side, the Hydras are driven back as the Mothership brought some friends this time. A second Tempest is taken down, but Reynor has not really been able to translate this into absolutely anything aggressive. The closest he got was knocking on the door of the 4th base, but he never even followed that up. And suddenly herO, he's at, well, he still has 77 probes, but he's got these extra mining bases. Reynor has been struggling to keep 4 bases. And Ultraless Cavern seems optimistic. 2 Stargates seems a little bit late on the other side of the map. And the charge lot slicing through some Hydras, leading the charge. In the most literal sense, as herO kind of consolidates his forces along the right side. Mothership still gliding over to the left, waiting for opportunity to mass recall with the bait and switch. Still has survived, though in the red HP. Here with 22 charge lots, Reynor holding for now. The Zergling counter is good on top of the mineral line. Gonna drag. So much of this back. I reinstalled the drivers too, but we look away for a second and we find the Mothership has recalled in and just obliterated the base down the center. 19 probes dead, but in the short term, that just frees up some more supply for Reynor. Well, for herO to build up his army, though herO replacing 4 probes at a time. Microbial Shroud is in production as Reynor grasping at straws, though I'm not sure how helpful Microbial Shroud will be against an army of Archons and charge lots. In fact, it may help the Archons and charge lots more than it helps against the Protoss, but I'm not sure we're going to see the conclusion of that upgrade. As here comes herO, maximizing the splash damage to his own units, and the Baneling hits. Charge lock counter, Mothership coming back to defend, but the probes are already dead. Active cloaking, Immortals in production, but the Tempests come back around for another pass. Immortals just exploderating hatcheries left and right. And so far, Reynor has not even gotten within the same zip code of dealing with this army efficiently. A few times he's managed to take out the Templar, but if they have any storms, it's almost impossible to engage directly. The Immortal... the Ultra... return to the units lost tab. 2 Gs in the chat, and herO just kind of strolls his way into a victory. After whatever that wall off was, after getting all of the tech, including 2 Templar archives, after getting his Immortals and Archons killed multiple times, herO with a decisive victory. herO has... it feels almost spiteful. He's not even walling off now. He's like, Winter, you don't like my wall-offs? How about no wall-offs? How do you like it now? I like it less. All right, I get it, though. How's a Zerg gonna attack when oracles exist? That's a good point, herO. But... well, Reynor feeling scrambling throughout that whole game to try to come up with a response. And he did have a response. Unfortunately, every time it was just a bit too late. The Archon drop almost disrespectfully flying directly through Zerg airspace. The armies far too small to end the game on their own, but far too large to be ignored. A lot in common with your mother. And now, a wall off on the low ground in a almost normal fashion on our least normal map. Last Fantasy, a 3-player map with that third base wide open. Neither player, there's no way to know which direction your opponent spawned besides the old-fashioned scouting. So Reynor sending his Overlord in the wrong direction. It's just random chance. Which historically has been why we don't have multiplayer maps, like more than 2-player maps. As on paper, Protoss is the race that gets most punished for it. But it appears that herO, he started a Zealot, canceled the Zealot, started a maybe he'll start it. He didn't scout until after the Nexus. So herO definitely playing with fire here in the admittedly small chance that Reynor actually goes for any sort of aggression. Yeah, there is a non-zero chance that if Reynor went for a 12 pull or a 12 pull drone. We saw StarCraft do that not too long ago against herO. Just do a 12 pull drone pull, and herO just died because he didn't scout in time. Like, one of the shortest games of the top 10 players, I think, like a minute and a half that I've seen in probably the entire year. Good old-fashioned Zerg rush, but Reynor not risking it here. And it's likely the probe would have scouted in time. Stalker is looking to intercept the Overlord. I think he spotted it. And, well, this is a bit awkward. I think the Overlord's going to get to a relatively safe location. And at high ground. Whoa! Okay. What? Oh, wait, what? What? Okay. It is a high ground. It's just very finicky. The Stalker, just making sure. Patrolling. Zergling gonna get in? Nope, I lied. And that means it's not gonna... He didn't go for a star... Oh no, it's Dark Templar. herO, use Spicy Boy. Sure. Alright, he went for 2 Templar Archives last time. This time he's just going straight for the Shrine to Dark. His greatest frenemy. The only Zerg player, in my opinion, who could actually keep up with him. And, you know, be his dance partner, if you would, in this game we call life. Well, we call it StarCraft too, but it feels like Dark was the only Zerg player who had the overlap of both skill and madness to meet herO where he is, which herO doesn't even know where he is, and that's what really was the most impressive part. But it's a straight up DD. He liked the Archon drop so much, we're gonna have second Archon drop. This time it's gonna be the Dark Templar Archons, which are also allowed to merge into Archons. Okay, in 2010 we said no longer is it going to be a separate but equal sort of Archon. It's going to be just Archons. Okay, not a Dark Templar Archon or a Dark Archon. That was problematic terminology. And also, honestly, Dark Archons will be very helpful to have at certain stages of the game. But I digress. herO, on the other hand, aggresses. He's going to warp in the DTs. Absolutely no shame. DT blink! And he's going for... Did you ever notice the Dark Shrine is just 3 Dark Templar faces and their eyes glow when you research DT blink? Which is kind of crazy, because in multiplayer, it didn't even have an upgrade for many years. They added the animation. Anyways, DT's in the main. Hey, you can't be in here. The Protoss say nothing. Maybe come in with some... All right, the DT's juggling back and forth. The Clown Fiesta continues. He's gonna warp in. He's got 4 DTs now, and he's pretty committed to the DT idea with the DT Blink. I feel like if I say DTs more than a couple more times... Okay, now is he just fighting? Sure, why not? Slurp some back. Beautiful positioning. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Because if they don't dance, and if they don't dance, they're probably complaining about Protoss on Battle.net. Oh my. He just keeps making Dark Town. Oh my. Oh. Well, he's just fighting. Alright, these are fighting Templar. And, well, I mean, DT Blank is done. I'm not sure what he's going to do with it now. I'm not sure why the... Okay. I feel like... Yeah, heroes... He could go for Archons, which would probably be better, but not nearly as fun. So... What are you doing, hero? Like, the Archon drop was... He's finally admitting that Archons... He really tried to make the DTs work, but they're not gonna work. Reynor... The Archon drop, on the other hand, a bit more stability in life. Not much. It's still a very risky maneuver. The Queen gonna be assassinated by the Archon at point-blank range. Gonna target down some drones. Why not? And the Zergling counter. There's just a smattering of gateway unit. What? Another DT? Blinks out. Oh my. Oh, hero. Well, he's got some Immortals in production, so Reynor gonna try to exploit the main weakness of not going Stargate, which is a lack of anti-air. You don't have the built-in capability to get Phoenixes, which just effectively invalidate Mutalisks. So, there's a chance here that Reynor finds overwhelming success with it. He's using... Okay, well... Oh, he blinks to the high ground. And the Spore Crawler... He sniped off the creep tumors. We're still going. He's juggling. Overseer. Nope. Nope. One by one. And, but wait. Nope. Oh, hero. What? This is a lot of army. The mutas are coming out. The force fields! The Warp Prism can be taken, and the mutas... It's just one Archon, but there's almost nothing on the ground. The Archon distracting as long as possible. The roaches will be pinned back. The Observer just flies into the Spore. Stop position on the drones to make things very difficult here. But, okay, this is awkward. So, Reynor will be taking a lot of damage because mutas are not very strong in such small numbers. But eventually, it will be cleaned up. And now, over the last minute and a half, herO has destroyed... Well, Reynor's gotten the better end of it, mathematically. But I don't think, well, the numbers right now are unclear. Reynor has more supply and more drones, but herO is 100% more herO than Reynor is. Meanwhile, oh, he killed the Spore Crawler with the charge lots, and now he's gonna get a few more drones. He can blink away, potentially. Tries to blink past, like they can't turn around and kill him. Meanwhile, blink for... Ye old-fashioned Stalker blink is on the way. I felt one of the few times we actually need to clarify. Is that not a super pylon? We're gonna have a nice old-fashioned warp in now. Take their sweet time, as that pylon isn't close enough to the Nexus to get the warp conduit bonus it gets for being within the personal space. Meanwhile, the Stalkers. All right, we've transitioned to something of a regular-looking Roach Ravager versus Blink Stalker. But, well, the mutas are on charge lot defense. The Stalkers... He's getting +1 armor because that's one of the upgrades you can get. Okay. Hero's like, what can I do that is not something you're supposed to... Like, so usually weapon upgrades are preferred because they scale better. And if you're taking damage... Well, one, armor upgrades do not apply to shields, and stalkers have just as much shield as they have HP. But hero does as hero do, as the saying goes. And now he's decided he's going for +1 armor with his stalkers. So here we go. The charge lots warping in, the mutas. Well, you know, armor's pretty good against mutas. Meanwhile, blunking out. Just chilling. The charge lots. He pulled a lot of roaches. He might be able to just blink forward, to be honest. Gonna target down some more of the Ravagers. And there we go. Blunks over the top. The charge lots just stroll by into the main. The drones are fighting. Two distinct battle groups. Who doesn't know? Like the hand and the foot are doing completely different things, but they're both kicking Reynor in places he'd rather not be struck. And right now, hero is down 30 supply, yet it feels like he's winning the game. Why does that keep happening? He's sitting on exactly 0 Templar archives. He still has the Dark Templar at home. Still has this special pylon here. No, not clever. I don't... What? I'm arguing with the Dark Templar now. Ah, revenge! Wait, how did he even see that Overlord? Did it move slightly? He's been waiting 10 minutes to get that Overlord, and he finally got it. That's the real win. Reynor's now supply blocked after losing 2 Overlords, which allows hero to draw a lot closer to even in supply. 5 probes die. Oh, mutas. The mutas are still alive. And now 26 more Zerglings in production, Reynor. Trying to scramble it together. The Zergling sneaks by. The mutas. Yeah, they've racked up the kills, but Reynor is not in a position to really do much more than Roachling Bane. Well, there go the Stalkers, but some of them drawn back. Dark Templar back for more. Wait, there's no detection! He's microing. Well, he was. Not even. Meanwhile, we're doing on the left side. I don't know. The Spore Crawler either take it out or reposition, but Guardian shields some Immortals in the mix. Blunks out of the Corrosive Ball, walks into the other ones because, you know, it's only sporting. Meanwhile, the production tab is interesting. Infestation Pit. Oh, Blunks forward past! Another volley. Just stumbles out of the way. 1-1 versus +2 upgrades. Reynor has the attack, but the Roaches starting to evaporate. Now, Reynor, the hero's losing a lot of his Stalkers as well, but the Mutas trying to get in position, but hero just continues shoving his way forward. And I think he's done it. Reynor does not have the numbers back at home. The DTs into DT Blink into I really want DTs to work, and okay, fine, it's not DTs, Archon and Gateway units. Hero with another hero original. And Reynor, yeah, he's out on supply, but no. Just target fire. Oh, what a save. I keep saying it like it's almost over, but then hero manages to stumble his way out of victory. Chases the Queen, but Reynor is on 3 bases against 4. Hero keeps the aggression turned so high that the 8 sentries. 8 sentries. Sure. Why not? He could have gotten a Templar archive. He could have gotten 3 Templar archives for that cost, but why not? And he did snipe off most of the Ravagers. So the force fields may be an actual option. I feel like that's mostly, oh, I have too much gas, fine. I feel like it's almost a matter of principle here that he doesn't go for a Templar Archives after going for double Templar. How is there still no detection? Another Dark Templar. Now, which one's cooler, the Scythe or the Dagger DTs? The eternal question. I think the Dagger DT. I used to think the Scythe. But, okay. Two banelings. Get a surprising amount of probes. Now Hydras are finally trickling out. The unit that has enough damage to compete with herO's army on the field. It's still 1-1 now, +2 ranged attack for Reynor, and +1 melee against 1-1 for herO across the board. Here comes the Gateway special. Gateway man, some Guardian shields. We got some sentries. Warp Prism overhead. And this, yep, throws down the force fields. Quite obliging, and then loses the Warp Prism immediately, because of course he does. Loses a dozen probes. He's gonna lose a big chunk of his army here. herO. He took out the Roach Warren, which isn't the end of the world, but means no more Ravagers. Some more sentries. Whipping out the force fields. Blugs to the side. Charge lot swinging in again. And herO. Blunks over the top. Reynor keeps the supply up, but the army value pales in comparison. He absolutely no shame and no fear from herO as he just crushes forward. The buddy cop combo of Sentry Immortal at the natural. And how has he not won this game yet? 80 to 80 supply. My IQ somewhere in the average there. Feels like when I watch these. The drones versus Zealots. Not exactly the most cost-efficient army composition. The charge lots swing it in for another round, and herO still with enough. He only has 39 probes. But Reynor has almost no army. GGG! Reynor. Yeah, just holding it down for a second there. Like, I can't even. That was so odd. So herO, now 2-0. Reynor getting hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray with some of the most... I mean, what is he doing? Completely unpredictable. He is kind of ping-ponging back and forth all over the tech tree, landing on gateway units most of the time, but I don't know. All right, game 3. We're going to Persephone. Reynor's second to last chance to stop the bleeding, but let's be honest, being down 3-0 against herO does not feel like it's gonna be any easier. Yeah, herO's just decided he's done walling off against Zerg sometimes. Eventually he will. This is another one of those bell curve things of like, all right, walling off against Zerg. I don't need to wall. Zergs aren't gonna attack. No, you need to wall because there's so many early timings. I don't need to wall. He's not gonna attack. Yes, you can argue technically by not sending the probe out, herO saves like 5 to 8% of his early economy. Just the travel time of the probe. Do I think that's what he's factoring in? No. But technically... Well, we've had a double Templar Archives game. We've had a Dark Templar with extra... You know, I think he made the blink work by the end. He tried to force it early, which never goes well, let's be honest here. But then he started slipping the blink DTs in. And I feel like he intentionally... So there's an indicator of where you put your pylon in order to easily wall off in a normal fashion. And herO... If he had a mouth, he would spit on that area. And that's kind of gross. Yet, this is somehow grosser. Like and subscribe for my blood pressure medication. I'm gonna need it. And smash that hype button if it ever does anything or shows up. Apparently it only works on iPhone most of the time. You guys have phones. And who cares? I literally haven't seen it do anything besides a number go up. But people love that. So do I. In fact, that's what we do every day. Like number go up. A Stargate at the front. Yeah, he's... This is just... So, again, the conventional wisdom is... If Reynor... He's shaming Reynor into going early pool, I think. Because if he keeps doing this, at some point, he's going to die to just like a 12 pool. Or honestly, anything before like 16 might be enough. There's a reason for more than Reynor's lifetime. All right, since the Brood War, speaking of, Brenda, the Brood War, if we could fly, we wouldn't be able to block these Adepts. Stop trying to rationalize this. All right, stop. Why are you being such an apologist? Why? Not now. We're not doing social justice Zerg today, Susan. Sorry, I don't know what happened. What? Oh. herO versus Reynor. Where were we? Oh, yes, Reynor's life, which... Younger than the Brood War itself. Very simply, if you don't wall off against Zerg, you're so vulnerable to Zerg Rush, you can just straight up lose the game. Just outright. You're not going to have time to put together shield batteries or anything you need behind it. But in the current meta, such as it is, because of the Oracle and Energy Recharge being so effective, means that the only sort of all-in that's going to be really plausible is before the Stargate is really completed. And the state... Oh! Oh, no! And then it just died. All right, well... He got a stasis, but then he killed the Oracle, so I feel like Reynor actually got the better end of that one, but... Another Oracle. That Spore. Jumping. Ready for the opportunity. Oh, that was close. And now the Shady Bunch is on its way across the map. herO, just send it out. Another... Just send it. He's got 8 Adepts and he's got somewhere to be. Alright, the Shade. Doesn't even bother getting into like a nice little tucked in position, just lets it go. The Lings never bothered him anyway. And now, more. But wait, there's more. Does he continue the Shade? He does, into the main. 3 drones dead. Adepts not getting critical damage so far. herO doesn't have much behind this, and he hasn't been building probes. So, well, but wait, there's more. Even more kills. All right, 10 kills. It just keeps going, and round we go. Where does it stop? Oh, what a save! Transfuses a drone, and okay, now it stops. 11 Adepts for 10 drones and 23 Zerglings. Oh, but wait, there's more! Even more Zerglings coming across. These are not Glaved Adepts. Though herO now getting a Twilight and 2 Forges. The Adepts outside the 3rd. And the 4th base is on the way. So Reynor, he took a hit, but his economy was still good enough that he can bounce back. And continually warping in Adepts means that herO, for the first time, he's not building up a bunch of Immortals behind. The Immortals have been the backbone of the army. So what are we doing? No, wait, what? What? No. Huh? Can he do that? What? And then he just turns off? You could have killed the hatch. Why did he turn off the oracles? He still had enough energy. He's like, let the Adepts finish it. What are you? I can't with this guy. He had enough energy to either kill the hatch or get it almost critically low. And now he's committing the Adepts. I mean, it's not... No, it is kind of a big deal. There was no 4th hatch otherwise. Apparently he had a... He'd consulted his horoscope and saw that Jupiter was in retrograde, and he's like, oh, I gotta shut off these oracles, go outside and howl at the moon or something. What are you doing? He assassinated 3 queens, and now here come the oracles again. The Adepts, he keeps, it's almost reflex, it feels like. He just keeps warping in Adepts, because it's what he does. Their Hydra's on the way. Okay, I don't think he recognized those were Hydras until an Oracle already died. What a deplorable set of strategies here. I'm not being rhetorical, alright? As we've seen written in the Loracles, herO either has Moracles or really should just ignoracles. And I know a lot of people are going to be Soracles, but truly, truly deplorable. Yep, that's Hydras. Meanwhile, Fleet Beacon. And a Templar Archives, at least one. And no, I don't think 2 Templar Archives is a huge, like, it's less the whenever this happens with pros, which is rare but amusing. It's not the cost of it, it's the idea that they actually forgot. Okay, 200 gas is not gonna make or break most builds. But a whole set of rocks dropping on top of a Zealot will certainly do some work on it. herO was down 50 supply against... There's no splash damage. herO can just fight. I mean, Reynor can just fight, right? There's no storm. The Zerglings. Wraps his lings around the back. herO blinks out. But, yeah, there's no splash damage at all. So... I don't know if you can blink your way out of this one. Couple stasis triggers it. Now Reynor's on 5 bases, making Hydra Ling against just Stalkers. I mean, it is 1-1 against 0-0 on the Roach Hydra. He has +1 melee. But herO did not get Storm nor Immortals. Obviously not Archons. So it feels like for the first time, Reynor has both the economy and the unit composition to really take advantage of it. herO too high on his own supply, and too low in reality. As, oh, that... an Artosis pylon. Oracles go down, Hydra's pig cushioning, Stalkers blink down, but the Lings will be there to cover. He's gonna repower the Forges, but the Zerglings getting through. herO refuses to give up. Never give up! Never surrender! But I think his hand is going to be forced, as the Hydra's in their element right now, which is when there's literally no splash damage, they're actually some of the best DPS units in the game. Unfortunately, they're made out of daffodils and tears, so... But Reynor strikes back. But as always, I can't help but feel it was more herO completely missing the mark and flying off into the sun than it was Reynor with some sort of ingenious counter strategy. At some point, you just let herO keep going until he face plants and hopefully breaks his neck or something. And that was clearly not the... Between both the questionable micro and macro, for once, Reynor gets the better end of things. But, well, now we're going into Pylon, begging the question of where herO builds his first one. I'm suspicious. That's a normal spot. Who you try to fool? Gas first? So you can get a very, very quick Stargate with this. I've seen some... So this way you avoid having to get a second gas in order to get your Stargate most of the time. I'm not sure if that's the process here, or if we have some new tomfoolery, but we'll find out. No probe scout, Reynor. With just a hatch first. There's the Nexus. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm still so... My gabbers are flaccid about turning off the oracles when the hatchery's at 20%. Like, you gotta... Did you hit your daily limit and you have to buy more energy coins in order to play? Like, that's not how this game works. So it seems like most people want that sort of stuff nowadays. Like and subscribe. And you'll get your daily ration of pride and accomplishment. Or else. So, herO now has 200 gas. Which... Okay. There's the Stargate and a Stalker first. So he has enough gas to go Stargate and Stalker first, which... He's hiding it in the main, and the Stalker first means makes it feel like he's trying to hide it overall. Will he be able to do so? And will it matter? Two different questions. Similar, but different. Okay, so he might deny the Overlord Scout, but he did not deny 2 Zerglings walking into his base. So there's that. 4 probes versus 2 lings. He just loses a probe. Might lose a second. Yeah, the Stalker. Nope, he's gonna see the Stargate. Gonna even see the Oracles. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Finally gets it. So any sort of attempt to actually shut down scouting has now failed utterly. Unless, playing 40 backgammon, while on a wild boar hunt, which I assume herO's doing, on a Wi-Fi hotspot near the closest McDonald's in, I don't know, where do you hunt boars? Romania? Sorry, / shout out to Romania. Or, you know, I know where you can find 30 to 50 feral hogs. Right. And so does your mother, but... Oracle comes in. Queens. Well, sir, okay, well, some of the more Oracle micro that I've ever seen. herO has not... Tempest Rush. Sure. Or carriers. Get your bingo card. I feel like we need a bingo card for herO at this point. He's starting to feel like Zest. So here's a meme from back in the day. I miss you, Zest, but he's not coming back, unfortunately. Where you can't just do whatever you want, herO. And herO says... Who's going to stop me? Or nothing, because Protoss don't have mounts. Double Tempest with tectonic destabilizers. Sure. Throw that one in there. So, it looks like Reynor is he expecting glaives? Oh my, he's expecting glaives so hard right now. Yeah. I said it like that. So hard. He wants to bust his Banelings all over the Adepts. Unfortunately, Banelings are not a very good anti-air unit. Oh, he's so convinced. Like, you do not pre-build Banelings to counter Tempests. Oh no. It's an absolute technological and mental disaster. Now he's just gonna try a counterattack, but the Oracles will defend it. Assuming herO doesn't just turn them off because he reaches his daily energy quota again. Like, a single Adept at the wall, a sentry, and the Oracle's back at home. And now the Tempest, you really need to get the jump on these. And Queen's not known for their agility. Oh, just slammed. Oh, it's so painfully satisfying. Which, you know, says a lot about me, but check out more of my Dronely fans. This is not, so Reynor delayed his lair and built a bunch of Banelings because he was convinced it was going to be Adepts, but this time around, it's Tempest. Tectonic Destabilizers is done. And he can just almost one-shot the spores. Oh my. Here come the Zerglings. herO. Well. So the Zerglings just have to sit there. The Spire's on the way. What are you gonna do? Okay. Oh, this is disgusting. What did Reynor even do wrong? Well, Reynor, I mean, he's already dead. He's not going to have nearly enough money for Corruptors. There's just a bunch of Zerglings, and he can't get past the wall. hero's just fully set up. The Tempest, that's 2 hatcheries down. He's going for the main. The Spire's halfway done. The build time is 5 seconds shorter. Not entirely sure that's going to matter, as Reynor will have exactly 0 hatcheries momentarily. He has 1 mining base. Oh, there's the Spire. Did he notice? Reynor can build, like, that's not enough Corruptors, by the way. Okay. Oh, and the Oracles! The Spore finishes, but 5 Corruptors. Nope, that's not enough. There are 82 Zerglings with nowhere to go. Just ignores the drones. State... What? What can one do against such reckless cheese? Well, hero's on match point. I don't know. I lost motivation to watch. It was like watching a car slowly, like, get crushed. It wasn't a car crash. He crashed a while ago, before he even realized it. There was no getting... Like, here, Reynor thought he made the read. Okay, by the way, hero's using the Zest portrait, I want to point out. So, extra accurate. I don't know anymore. Not a single game. Well, the only game that herO has played remotely close to standard, which is something he usually sets, but was on Persephone. And even then, Reynor, without the most comfortable early game, but eventually found an opportunity to attack. Otherwise, 3 games of pure, unadulterated madness. Between Double Templar Archives, DT Blink, Tempest Rush. This is why people love and love to hate Protoss. And it's not just that Reynor's losing, okay? Reynor's getting bullied. Even in the games that feel kind of close, the games 1 and 2, make no mistake, even though the supplies were close, Reynor at no point really had a chance to attack. herO is dictating the pace of the game against Zerg, who is supposed to be the threat. You can't let a Zerg go. Well, hero's certainly not letting him go, is he? That'll teach you to think you know what hero's doing, when not even hero knows what he's doing. I wonder how much the Tempest Rush was planned out beforehand, because he did go for the gas first. And how much was, why not? And again, I don't know if it's possible to tell. Oh, hero. Against the rank 2 Zerg in the world. Then again, the last time you faced the rank 1 Zerg in the world, StarCraft, he was so close. Like, if you haven't watched that series, I beg of you, watch that series. I'm spoiling it. But it doesn't matter if I tell you that it was close. Like, and with some of the biggest mistakes I have ever made a pro player, I have ever watched a pro player make. Who loses 4 Oracles to corrode, like 3 Ravagers? And even then, he was so close to beating StarCraft. With some of the greatest plays. He is the roller coaster, all right? The highest highs, the lowest lows. And when it's low, it's so low. But when it's high, I feel like I need to sober up. All right, sure. Hallucinated Phoenix off a sentry in order to kill the... He really hates Overlords. It's gonna be charge, sure. Got that on your bingo. You made your bingo card, right? Do you have charge? There is no free space in a hero game. Actually, you can put a free space wherever you want as long as it's not in the center. Because that's where people expect the free space on the bingo card to be. And that's not accurate. Put it in like the top right corner or something. And the O's for... Oh, he's doing that. Alright, you know, bingo meta here. It's a proxy gate charge lot build. Yep. It's an old build. This is the most standard cheese that we've seen. Still a hardcore, like, triple X rated cheese here. Because Reynor's about to get surprised. And this off the back of everything else. Oh. The Warp Prism. Hallucinated Warp Prism. But, wait. Is this... I don't even know. Alright, the bait and switch. And Reynor's biting. He's biting down hard right now. Meanwhile, the charge lots on the right side. A queen already dead. Oh, no. Oh. Hey, this series looking more one-sided than a Mobius strip. But he's not dead yet. There's not a small chance he holds this. But outwork costs. The charge lots just continue streaming in. He's gonna try to protect the sport, but there's no DTs coming. It's just charge lots. The whole build is charge lots. He just keeps rallying in. Reynor. That last queen! Stay down! Brenda, no! Try to chop through! That Zealot tried to charge it, and with the queen, there is hope! She lives! The queen who lived. Just the one. That's all that's left. There's no lair. Just a bunch of roaches. The Stalker, no! Totally not select all army. The Stalker had an opportunity. But it passes it up. Hero now has the worker lead. Despite not building a probe for several minutes. Sure, 3 pylons over here to make sure this doesn't get depowered. Let's go for it. And, okay, Guardian Shield, very helpful. And, well, the Zerglings will get the surround on the sentry. The Queen! Hold! Hold! God, she dies! And with her, hope. And with hope, I think Reynor. So the issue here, well, the fact that herO made 3 pylons over there actually may become an issue, but there's a wait, no, there is no robo. That War Prism was halluc. It's just charge lots. So there actually is a dream of sorts. He's gonna hardwall. I mean, he's now getting 2 robos. He got Reynor to lock himself in his own base. Sentry, you had 1 job. You're fired. And the charge lots recall back. Unfortunately for Reynor, now he has to break out of his own base. That's gonna cost him a drone. The charge lot's streaming through. Now we get to watch a bit more of Reynor's death animation. There is, if he had a lair earlier, if he had something. He doesn't even have a lair now. He has less workers. Just gonna take a hidden base, which... There's still 20 charge lots. He's gonna hardwall off with a spore to spine. Double immortal production back at home, by the way. Did he suss it out? Is he gonna find it? Did Reynor make the 103 IQ play of taking the hidden base there? The charge lots. There's road speed on the way. They came outside. I feel like the charge lots win that fight. But with immortals and sentries, they certainly and Reynor's gonna try to sell, taking another hatch. The force fields, the hatchery canceled. Some banelings. The Zealots just champing at the bits. The immortals are gonna blast through, and good luck. There's no Ravagers. He's building some now, but yep. He could just kill the Roachwood. He's leaving them alive to make this choke point even more disgusting. He's gonna get the Roachwood before Roach Speed. Just click on it, herO. Whatever. The Baneling's getting almost max damage. So no Roach Speed, no +1 attack, no third base, no tech, no chance. No hope. The only thing left is whether or not there's a GG. He force fields in the Banelings like the oldest meme in StarCraft 2. herO with absolute domination over Reynor today. I am a little bit jealous. I mean, as a Zerg player, I'm 1/3 Zerg myself. That was disgusting. As a Protoss player, still disgusting, but like in a more fun way. And if you're Terran, you probably already upset, so whatever. Either way. Thank you to the LiuLi Cup for putting on that best of 7. Such as it was. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. It was something. And, well, if you got the means and motivation, be awesome to check out Patreon or YouTube membership. But, if you're liking and subscribing, it's still free, at least for now. Smash that hype button as well. But thank you to our Mule Tier patrons, Big, Jiggy, Devin, Door, Drag, Kate, Mario, Soup, for bringing in those extra minerals. And everyone. Glad you still enjoy. Go check out herO versus StarCraft if you haven't yet. Jimmy, put it here on the end screen thing. What do you mean people already tuned out? But stop! Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. See you next time. Stay tuned.